Hello, I'm John Augustine. If there's one thing COVID has taught us, it's to adapt quickly. I'm coming to you pre-recorded this evening. Many of you know me from my profession as the director of the Greater Johnstown Career and Technology Center. I'm also a loving husband of 23 years and father of two beautiful daughters, now 19 and 17. What you may not know is that I am a heart survivor. Yes, 10 years ago, this very February, I was skiing at Blue Knob, one of my winter passions, and I could barely make it down the mountain. I knew something was wrong. The lift ride was unbelievably long that day. I went to work the next morning, and my secretary yells, "Mr. Augustine, you're yellow." A quick look in the mirror, and yes, jaundice had begun to set in. Off to the ER I go. Dehydrated and 2 bags of fluid later, they send me home for the day. The next morning was no better. I had a headache like you couldn't believe and stomach cramps that would not go away. When my wife came home from work that day, I told her, "Honey, I can't breathe." Back to the ER, this time, caked in sweat and unable to breathe. I entered the ER doors, and immediately the nurse grabs me by the arms and begins to yell, "What did you take? What did you take? You're having a heart attack." Clearly, she thought I was ODing as well. I wasn't. The next 7 days are an absolute blur to me, as I was placed in a medical-induced coma till the doctors and nurses could figure out what was going on. I had a balloon inserted into my heart that helped it pump, and for those of you in the medical profession, my ejection fraction was as low as 13 at one point during those 7 days. Then, by the grace of God, I woke up. I was better. It was unexplainable. But the technology that those doctors used helped keep me alive. During the time of the 7 days in the medical coma, I'm told I would look at the poster beside me, created my daughters, 7 and 9 at the time, and I would look at this picture and give the thumbs up sign. I would also squeeze my wife's hand, knowing that I was fighting for my life. Many of you probably have loved ones that have heart stories as well. 15 years ago, my mother had open heart surgery. Yes, the full zipper put in. The recovery time was unbelievably long. Several months ago, my uncle, now in his 80s, had the same open heart surgery, but it's not open heart surgery anymore. They went in through his wrist and replaced a valve. How are advancements in technology and care like this possible? How was I able to have a balloon inserted in my heart? It's through the research of the American Heart Association that most of this is possible. They've donated over $4.8 billion into heart research to keep people like me, my mother, my uncle alive, just like many of the loved ones you know. I ask you at this time, as my daughters are now 19 and 17, won't you join me and my family in supporting the American Heart Association? Thank you.